Hello! Today we are going to make bread, but we will do it in two different ways. In the oven, normal, and in a pan, in the cooker. Very easy to make and very delicious. You have two options for prepare your bread. So, without losing more time, I'm going to give you the ingredients and let's start. 500 grams of wheat flour, 10 grams of dry yeast for bread. If you use fresh yeast, use 25 grams, 1 tablespoon of melted butter, 1 tablespoon of sugar, half teaspoon of salt, 300 milliliters of water. Let's begin. We make a hole in the flour and we add the yeast. Add the sugar. Add the butter. And add water. But the water has to be warm, but not hot. We start kneading and we are adding water as the dough goes in knead. And now that it's previously kneaded, we add the salt. It is not added to the start because salt kills yeast, and as we already kneaded a little, the yeast is protected and the salt does not hurt, and we can add the salt. Now that it is previously kneaded, let's put it on the table to knead well. We put flour on the table and we put the dough. Now let's knead with insistence until the dough no longer sticks on the table or hands. The more you knead, the more gluten is activated, so the dough will be very elastic. Okay, after 10 minutes kneading, the dough is no longer sticky on the table or hands. It is very elastic, look this. Then let's put it to rest so that it develops. We put it in the bowl where we had started to knead. We put some flour in the bowl. Now we put the dough and we put a little flour on top. We cover it with a cloth and we place it in a warm place. And we leave it there 2 hours or until it doubles its size. Then we return and to start making bread. Okay, here we are after 2 hours. Look, so cute dog. I'm going to cut it in half. I'm going to use half the dog to make bread in the oven, and I'm going to use half the dog to make bread on the stove in a pan. We remove it from here and so it degases. Let's stretch it and I'm going to cut it in half. Now I'm cut it into 4 pieces. And now I make 4 balls. and we are placing them on the baking sheet with parchment paper. Now we do the same with the other half of the dough. Okay, here are the 8 balls of dough. I'm going to cook 4 in a pan and 4 in the oven. But now we have to let them rest at least 30 minutes before starting to make the breads. Cover with a cloth and leave in the warm place. Okay, it's been 30 minutes. Now I'm going to cut 4 of these balls in half. To make smaller breads are the ones I'm going to make in a pan. Those who go to the oven, I leave them like this. If you want, you can leave them that big. You do not need to do this. We do this because they cannot be round, to be able to turn them in a pan and cook well from both sides. Okay, here I have the 8 breads that I will make in the pan, and here are the 4 that I will make in the oven. Those who go to the oven, I make a cut on a surface because that way they do not explode in the oven. Use a sharp knife. And now we let them rest 30 more minutes, and those that we will make in the pan too. Here are the breads that we will make in the pan after half an hour, and here are the ones we are going to make in the oven. Let's light the oven at 200 degrees centigrade, equal to 392 degrees Fahrenheit, to warm up. Meanwhile, we make the breads in the pan. We put a pan to heat and must have a lid to make oven effect inside the pan. Let's let it warm up well to place the first breads. Okay, now that the pan is already hot, we put the fire to the minimum. The pan must be dry. It does not need oil or water. Let's put the breads. We cover the pan, always low heat, and we count 5 minutes. And then we turn them over. Okay. After 5 minutes, let's turn it around. We cover them and leave 5 more minutes on this side. Okay, after 5 minutes, we turn them over again. And we leave them 4 minutes. Okay, after 4 minutes, we're going to turn them around. We leave them 2 more minutes on this side, and our breads will be ready. After 2 minutes, our breads are ready. We are going to remove them, and we are going to put the other 4. Okay, I already showed you how to make bread in the pan. It took 16 minutes to be done. cooking 5 minutes on one side and 5 on the other. Then 4 minutes on one side and 2 on the other. And we know they are cooked because we do this. Listen. That hollow sound means it's cooked. Now let's make the breads in the oven. The oven is already hot at 200 degrees centigrade, equal to 392 degrees Fahrenheit, with heat up and down, and the tray in the center of the oven. The cooking time can be between 15 and 18 minutes. After I remove them from the oven, I tell you how long my breads were in the oven. Right now I remove my breads from the oven, and it took exactly 16 minutes with the temperature had I told you. We know it's cooked because we do this. It's cooked. And we already have hot bread to eat, made in the oven. And here we have hot bread to eat, made in the cooker, in a pan, without need for an oven. And here I show you the two ways you can make bread at home, in the oven and in the cooker, in a pan. More easier, impossible. With the same dough, you can make these two versions of bread. Here I leave two options to prepare a delicious bread at home without complications. Just use the one that suits you and the light. Prepare it. You're going to like delicious wheat bread. Well, I hope you liked this recipe. For this bread, make it in a pan, in the cooker. Look, this bread in our house, very easy to make and delicious. And the other option that you have is prepare the bread in the oven. Look, this, beautiful and delicious. And of course, I'm going to taste it now because I want that you look this bread inside. And these two, okay? I want that you see how is inside. Huh? And I taste it now. Delicious. Very good. And now this is bread. Good bread. Prepare, you will like it. Since you are here, subscribe to the channel. Below the video, I leave the recipe for you to copy and then prepare this delicious. Above the recipe is the link of my channel, and from your right side is the circle with my image. Click on any of the two. That takes you to the main page of the channel and you can subscribe. Leave your comments of the old recipes and this delicious. I'm going to say goodbye I'm see you in the next recipe, and until then, bye!